Niggas try to shoot at me in the hood. Way before this shit, I'm still in the hood, nigga. You bugging, nigga. Now look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave your ass on the hook, and when I go on tour, I'm gonna perform your fucking vocals live in front of 10,000 people, and you gonna feel dumb, stupid.
Hey guys, this is the Rambler Podcast here, and I'm one of your co-hosts, Shalom. Shalom.
Hey, what's up, everybody? King Giuliano here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Our next Zoom talk, quarantine talks. So we like to call it.
It's Zoom or quarantine talks, but we're just gonna stick with whatever, honestly.
6ix9ine, baby, the stupid man himself. You know, the guy with the rainbow hair, the guy with the tats all over his face. You know who we're talking about, Daniel Hernandez. Sounds like a really generic name, but you know, I'm pretty sure we all know what Daniel Hernandez, right, Shalom?
I mean, at least the majority of us know who Daniel Hernandez or just 6ix9ine, who 6ix9ine is. The majority.
Exactly. I'm sure you've seen him, you know, whether you're a hip-hop fan or not. This is someone that was really big, blew up, you know, about, it's almost been like 2 years now. 2018 was like his peak year. And yeah, he's pretty much been in jail or in prison for about a year. And I'm about to say, you know, he actually just got out recently of prison. So April 1st was April Fool's. And there was a post that Shalom and I had saw on Instagram. It was from the rap page. And it said 6ix9ine officially released out of prison. And it turns out that it was a joke. But later that same day, we got a bunch of news sources from DJ Academics, from a lot of other people, stating that 6ix9ine is most likely to be getting out early. And that was all over Twitter. I'm sure, Shalom, you saw that too, you know, just being on your phone or whatever.
Yeah, just I initially saw the April Fool's one or whatever or it was thought to be the April Fool's one, because you saw like a lot of like different posts, whether it was like someone releasing their album, like say just Playboy Cardi or like Lil Uzi Vert, all those basically random like things on Twitter, I mean on Instagram. But then like 6ix9ine, okay, I'm kind of skeptical about that. And then they saw Dama's Live who posted like a video on like the same day, and then like I was like, okay, I didn't watch it because I didn't want to, you know, be like tricked or anything like that. But it turns out that it was true.
Yeah, right. And everybody was like, nah, it's got to be a joke. Then we figure out like a day later on April 2nd, he actually ends up getting released out of prison. Which is crazy. That's
crazy because like we'll get into it, but it's just crazy that that he was able to get out early.
Yeah, right. We were still anticipating about 4 more months for 6ix9ine. You know, various articles, news stations have said that his sentencing was about to go to August. And obviously, as you guys know, most people know the story by now, it was minimized over time because he was snitching on everybody of the 9 Trey Bloods. And that group is basically now falling apart. So he was able to just kind of get things going, get the ball rolling a little more. He actually tried to get an early release back in January. That was denied because the lawyer or the judge was actually like, nah, you still got to do your time. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you did these crimes, you do the crime, you got to do the time. But the lawyer was now able to convince the judge that 6ix9ine basically is at risk for coronavirus because he has asthma. And which I think, on a note, he must have a really good judge. You know what I'm saying? Because if you guys know, Shalom and I were doing a little bit of research on this, and the criminal justice system is very complicated. There's a lot of convincing and a lot of documents that had to be going through, or what's the word? Had to go through in order for this to happen. And it's really like hard to explain all that on camera. But what you need to know is basically, yes, the judge was kick-ass and was able to basically, the lawyer was kick-ass and was basically able to convince the judge, yo, let this man out early. And now it happened, you know? 4 months left of his sentencing. He's out now. Just like that.
Yeah. And that just goes to show like how do you say lucky that 6ix9ine is as an individual, because also you have all these other these people, these prisoners in jail that are, you know, not as fortunate.
Right.
Not as fortunate.
Right.
You can have people like YNW and Ellie who actually contracted the COVID-19 virus, and definitely saddens a lot of us, you know, from the hip hop community. You know what I mean? Because, you know, and he's trying to get out. I think he was trying to get out before too, right?
Yeah. Well, Melly is right now currently YNW Melly. is actually asking the judge if he can get out early because he's claiming that he's dying of COVID-19. He's got all the symptoms, a fever, chill, body aches. And this is so unfortunate, like someone that's really young like that. Of course he does have his case, and, he was, in prison for a double murder against two of his friends. Now, obviously, we don't know if he's the one that did it or not. That's a conversation for another time. But it is very crazy to think that. And it makes you kind of think, the conversation can be brought up of, do celebrities or certain celebrities have some sort of advantage when it comes to getting out of jail early or having more of like a privilege, because like Shalom said, there's a lot of prisoners that are locked up right now that are struggling, and they're in really bad conditions.
Yeah, and you were Julian was telling me, because he did some of the research for like another topic, because definitely that's a whole different topic. But he was telling me that the prisons weren't exactly prepared for this type of thing to happen with the whole coronavirus thing.
No, definitely not. I read a lot of articles that were basically from NPR and other like websites that were basically talking about how a lot of prisoners, they don't have masks, they don't have gloves, they're sleeping in really tight facilities towards each other. And there's even videos that you can look up online of prisoners just crying, saying that they have the virus. So it really makes you think that, is there some sort of privilege when it comes to celebrities? Because 6ix9ine was able to just get out like that, oh, I have a chronic asthma, right? I'm going to be at risk for coronavirus. Okay, go home. Now, obviously, maybe it's not that simple, but it still makes you think in your head,
It makes you think like take into consideration, who would like the judge, like how the judge would be, because it's his decision,
It's his decision. But you got to think about the fact that every case is different. You know what I'm saying? 6ix9ine, and 6ix9ine probably did get off a lot easier because he snitched on everybody. You know what I mean? Like they let him. I think he was originally supposed to go in for about like 20 years.
Yeah, that was the I believe the case, or like that was the sentence. But of course,
right. And to think about how much it got minimized. So, like I said, he's just very fortunate. And now that he's back. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but
no, my bad. I feel like I'm cutting you off.
No, but like he's very fortunate because now that he's back on the streets, sorry, train in the background. He's back on the streets now. So now it kind of makes you think, where is his career really going to go from here?
Yeah, and before we start, go into any more further this conversation, how did you get into 6ix9ine?
Well, see, for me, I first got into 6ix9ine because one day I was just chilling, and I think the first ever song I heard with 6ix9ine, and it was Pulse 1469. That was the one with Trippy, 1400. Yeah, I told a Paul. Yeah, bro, those are the days. That's how I first got into him. But at first, I didn't like his verse. I was like, who is this weird-ass rainbow dude yelling on camera? His verse sucks. And then he dropped Gummo. And then ever since then, I feel like everybody started kind of riding his wave more.
You're a dolphin.
You're a dolphin. No, I heard Gummo. I was like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then, like, from there, it was just consecutive release after release. Every music video on YouTube was getting over millions of views. And, like, his, like, level of fame just shot up instantly.
Yeah. I would have to say the same for myself and how I discovered him, because it was definitely when I was discovering, like back in the day, it was 2017. So it was back when you were discovering like, new people at the time, whether it was like X, Trippie Redd, of course you had 6ix9ine, all these other people, but 6ix9ine still got to me the most because it's like, like Hispanic person with like long hair that's rainbow, and most importantly, he's just like yelling in his music, bringing that energy.
Yeah, right. It's almost like, some people thought it was trash, but to be honest, it was kind of different from anything that was coming out at the time. I mean, you got this Mexican dude from New York, someone that's also like the same like ethnicity as us. You don't really see that too much in the mainstream, getting big and famous. And I think that was it for a lot of kids, they just looked at that and they're like, damn.
Yeah, and like definitely when it comes like down to his wave, like a lot of people didn't like him at first, but then everyone kind of jumped on him like, on the wave, like when he started releasing the hit after hit. You know what I mean?
Right. And his numbers went up, and it's like what we were always saying, and most people know this. he really did make a career out of himself by releasing songs so consistently, but also trolling. And that's what makes this the most interesting. You know, 6ix9ine was the man that portrayed himself as this hardcore gangster. I'm untouchable. I'm going to pull up to your block. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like what was one thing he said? He went to like Chief Keef residence in like Chicago. He went to O Block, and it was really 3 a.m. in the morning, but he didn't say that. And he's like, "Oh, I'm here. No one's out here. I'm untouchable."
Post exactly said, but it was him on O Block, and he was like, "Where you guys at?" And then like that was like early in the morning, like at 3 or 2. And then of course when he took that pic real quickly, and he got out of there. And then
exactly. And that goes to show like this man, like he literally did so much trolling, but he would also troll to the point where he did get himself into danger. Because, when it comes to that kind of lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? You really can't be messing with that. It's like you can't be making jokes around that. If you say you're a gangster, you're a gangster. But even if you're joking, some people are still going to take you seriously, and they're still going to be out there to look for you. You don't want to play with fire,
Yeah, definitely. Because like, definitely some of the stunts that he was doing to troll was like, whether it was like calling out people or like just making fun of people, like why you just like just slime for 400 or whatever. I mean, like there's like a lot of people that he like pissed off.
Oh, most definitely. And that's the funny thing about it is, even though I'm saying all this and it did get him into a lot of trouble, this was the main source of his entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like people would go on 6ix9ine's Instagram and they'd be anticipating his next move. What is he gonna do next? What other person he's gonna call out? What is he gonna post next? Because it was a form of entertainment for him, and this is something that really did also help skyrocket his career, was his trolling. Whether it be little things like calling another person's music trash, whether it be beefing with Trippie Redd on Instagram Live, you know what I'm saying? Just in a pool, in a swimming pool, and they're just posted up yelling at each other. Even though it's probably fake, it was a form of entertainment. It's funny to watch.
Yeah,
people get a kick out of that.
When he went to, unfortunately, like to fast forward it, like when he went to jail, like it was definitely like crazy because it's like there was not a lot of happening in the hip hop community.
Right.
6ix9ine, of course, some people were like didn't like him at first, but a majority of us are missing him.
Right. People were starting to miss him. So now that kind of fast forwards it to now. He's out of prison. He's got this lawyer that was able to get him out like that. There's still tons of other people suffering, but now 6ix9ine, he's on home confinement. So obviously he's not the most free man in the world, but he's definitely safer than he was in prison. And he's going to be watched after this. Once his sentencing is over, because you got to remember, he was supposed to be out by August at this point. Once his sentencing is over, he's still getting 5 years of close watch over him. They're still going to be looking at him and what he's doing, his activities. So now it kind of makes you question, there's an article, you can look it up on Complex or any really hip-hop news station that's talking about 6ix9ine cannot troll anymore. His lawyer is saying he can't troll because he's under close watch from the feds. But this kind of brings up the question, which gets kind of confusing. What does that really mean for his career? Because people have expected him, and even when he was getting out, they expect him to go live on Instagram right away, say something, do something crazy, and now they're saying that he can't troll. But what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, it's very vague because it's like you've never really heard, like, especially a judge or just the law, you never really heard like them saying like I don't want like no trolling like.
Yeah. It's so weird because trolling is a total made up internet term.
Yeah, and it's just definitely like a crazy thing when you think about it. That's in the court.
Yeah, like bro, like I don't even. Do you think trolling is in the dictionary at this point? Like,
definitely it is, because there's definitely all these words and slang still like being made till this day of like different, and I'm pretty sure they're eventually all going to go in the dictionary.
Right. That I never would have guessed. Like Shalomy said, I would never guess that trolling would be used in a professional environment from a lawyer. But that's what these articles are saying. They're telling us that he literally said 6ix9ine cannot troll.
Yeah, but then
they're extremely vague.
And then when you brought to my attention, you said that he actually commented. He did his first comment like today or yesterday, I believe, and it was on like a page, right?
Yeah. So he commented, right. So what I was saying is it was LA. So it was a page on Instagram called The Shade Room, and if you look it up, he commented on a post that was basically talking about the LA governor, I believe, said, or not LA governor, LA mayor, excuse me. That's Gavin Newsom from California. I'm getting my facts wrong. Don't flame me, guys, in the comments. But the LA mayor, I believe, said, if you see people violating the shelter in place, you are allowed to call them or snitch on them, basically, right? And 6ix9ine commented something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm the man for that." Already making jokes. He's already out of prison, and he's already making jokes about how he snitched on this gangster-ass group, the 9 Trey Bloods. Like, this man just doesn't stop with the jokes. But see, even that can be considered trolling, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like a small little thing. That's like a joke. So I'm guessing, what I'm assuming is by the stop trolling, I'm guessing the lawyer is telling him, don't be starting fake beefs with people that can get you in trouble. You know, you start drama with people that can come back and haunt you and get you in trouble. Someone could put a hit on you. Someone could pull up on you. So I'm guessing that's what that means. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, does that mean that, like, he can't call out other artists if he doesn't like them? Like, where's the line between that, you know?
Yeah, like, we're like the middle ground.
Where's
basically
the middle ground? And, like, it kind of makes you think, okay, where exactly is he going to follow through with all this? Like, that's where I'm at right now. Personally, I think it's kind of unpredictable about how he's going to act right now. Like, I really don't know.
It's because, like, since he built his image around, like, just in general, like, being being a gangster rapper, you know, just shouting out all the time, you know, like
Treyway.
Billy. And yeah, like, now that he's out of jail, and then, you know, of course, he basically tore apart the 9 Trey Bloods. literally.
Yeah, literally tore apart the 9 Trey Bloods, which is, that situation's insane, man. That's all I gotta say.
That makes it goes to show, like, what is he gonna do after this? Like, whether it's him gonna become, like, some sort of influencer, going into the Hispanic music, going into Spanish music, because he has definitely had collabs with a couple of Spanish artists.
Right. So, you know, 6ix9ine did say that he does want to release an English and Spanish album. His lawyer was also talking about this. And he did actually do a good amount of numbers when he did that song with Anuel AA. I believe the song is called BB on YouTube. And it's got over 1 billion views. And no other song by 6ix9ine on YouTube has that many views, even with features. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's crazy. Like, I think if he really wants to, he could tap into that market. And I think I'm predicting that that's going to be his next move, because obviously, you know, with the whole rapping thing going on right now, and this is another article I want to mention I was reading by Complex, 6ix9ine's producer, his name is Jordan Granados, actually was kind of saying that a lot of fans will probably give 6ix9ine criticism for rapping, because they're going to be like, bro, you can't be rapping about that gang stuff anymore, because first of all, you're a snitch. Second, you're not involved in it anymore. And third, I don't even think he can rap about it because he's still on watch. So you got all these factors, right, coming in together. So I think his best bet is to go into that market, or a different kind of market.
Yeah, definitely. Whether it's being an influencer, because I was having a conversation with Julian, like, earlier, and, like, saying, yo, if TikTok was made back then, like, when, like, definitely, I'm pretty sure I was made, like, back, like, a little bit, you know, maybe like over a year ago, but, like, I feel like he would have been popping off that. He would have been really popular off of that. Right.
And the thing about Tekashi is, like, he is just this character. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man has a funny personality. Whether you like the guy, whether you support him or not, which I totally understand, the man is just a funny dude, right? So he has this internet appeal, and I feel like if he builds that more, he could honestly, like, that's what he was kind of blowing off more than his music. But if he continues to do that by just being humorous, I don't know, maybe he'll make a TikTok or something, or collaborate with these YouTubers like his producer wants him to do. You know,
and back then, like, he was always, like, doing stuff for clout, because back then, when, like, so Virgil Abloh, people know him for Off-White, or being the head of the Louis Vuitton the lead designer. Basically, back then, Virgil Abloh had a brand called Pyrex, and so the font, it was kind of like a little, like, sport. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it was like sport attire kind of in a way, and it was really big, like hype wear. You know what I mean? But then 6ix9ine kind of did a take of that, and basically like on the shirts because like the original design said Pyrex and it said like numbers on the back, and then but what 6ix9ine did is like I think with somebody he basically wore the same clothing, right? But it wasn't Pyrex. It said HIV gang, and then like all these different.
Right. I do that. That was how he started to blow up. He would just wear really flashy clothes before he became a rapper.
HIV gang, I believe. I forgot pussy.
Yeah, it was like some really tacky ass clothing. Like it was like out of the line. Like
always been doing stuff like that. Like doing stuff. Right.
That's always been part of like who he is. So I don't think. And a lot of people, I think Adam 22 was also bringing up a point that I was telling Shalom about. He was saying that, like, oh, no one's going to want to pay attention to 6ix9ine anymore because he can't act like a gangster. He can't act all crazy and troll like people want. I don't think that's necessarily true, though.
I agree with that.
I think that the guy is entertaining enough to where if he wants to build some type of new, not like necessarily a new image, but he can build up some type of clout or popularity again. He'll find a way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Find a way, or just people around him will like definitely like tell him or like help him out with that.
Yeah, or guide him in the right direction. Because see, I was kind of thinking at first that 6ix9ine would become like a Lil Pump situation. Obviously you guys know Lil Pump. Lil Pump never did anything like gang affiliated or anything to lock him up, but his relevance kind of went downhill. And now he's trying to tap in with YouTubers in the Latin market, which I would say like he's doing some bit of numbers off of it. Or whatever, but I definitely do think his relevance is not there as much anymore. I feel like 6ix9ine has a better chance.
Yeah, it's definitely out of his character, and 6ix9ine definitely has a chance, because he just got out, and that goes to show too, like, because we mentioned earlier about his safety, right? And that goes to show,
right.
Once all this is done, the quarantine, hopefully it ends like within a couple months or whatever. I'm more or less, you got to be concerned with his safety and his family's safety, because of course what he did by snitching on like the 9 Trey members, like I'm pretty sure he made a lot of enemies, and then they want
well, most definitely. And I'm no expert when it comes to that, but I just know in general when it comes to that situation, you still got people that are definitely alive and around in New York that were either friends of affiliates from the 9 Trey Bloods, some sort of affiliate family member, that are probably pissed at 6ix9ine right now. So it's very scary.
It's very scary for him, but I feel like the government or just whoever's like in charge of the watching him, or they're gonna have him in witness protection. But even though he said he denied it, right, way back when. Well,
the man, in my opinion, he has a huge advantage when it comes to that, more than anybody else would. Again, we were talking about privilege earlier, right, with the whole getting out of prison earlier. This brings up the conversation again. Imagine if someone else was in his position, a random person that's not a celebrity, that doesn't have a music career. They're more likely to, in my opinion, maybe get tracked down by someone, or get, have someone have a hit on them because they don't have the protection or money that 6ix9ine does. 6ix9ine, it's easy for him to get some type of protection. Just he has all these advantages around him. He's got money to dip out and go somewhere else and live somewhere else if he wants to. Not everybody has that. So if he wants to leave New York, he can do that and get out, restart, keep working on his music career. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I don't think he's going to be in New York for that much longer at this point.
Yeah. Definitely, whatever he does, he's going to do, whether it's like definitely like in the silence or he just does it, put it out there. But
no, yeah, definitely. And I feel like he'll try his best to stay safe at this point, It's a crazy world out there, even in LA, but I think he's definitely gonna, let's hopefully hope for the best. I think if he's smart enough, he's gonna play his cards right. He's gonna minimize the trolling a little bit, but not to the point where he doesn't mess around, because trolling is part of his personality. We have to remember that. Like, that's what makes him the person he is, because the guy's just always been, that doesn't take anything seriously. The guy's a freaking jokester, you know what I'm saying? He's a meme. Yeah. So I think when it comes to trolling, like I said earlier, he's not going to be trolling around about gangs or anything like that. Not trolling saying, pull up to my block, or I'm untouchable, or I'm part of this, I got connections here. He's going to probably do some stupid TikTok challenge or make a song out of that or something. You know what I mean?
do is he's gonna find some way to get relevant again. Hopefully, because we don't know, right? We don't know what's gonna happen.
We really don't know. It's a really unpredictable situation at this point. But me and Shalomy are kind of on the same page. You know, I don't think his career is gonna personally just tank like that. He'll find a way to tap into some sort of market. Maybe he'll start doing songs with Ed Sheeran, like Eminem was. You know what I'm saying?
Meme, yeah.
Yeah, and start making songs with all the old pop stars like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. Hella funny. You know what's funny is like I saw an interview of OGZ, and he was saying that 6ix9ine will probably make songs with like Ed Sheeran and all that when he gets out because he has nothing to rap about anymore.
Oh yeah, rest in peace to Shoreline Mafia.
Yeah, member. Mac P Dog. Rest in peace to Mac P Dog. By the way, even though this video isn't about him, but you know, the guy was super young. He was like 23 years old. So
sad to know that, like, of course, side note, of course, but sad to know that violence is still going on.
Most definitely.
Time, you know.
6ix9ine's got. That's why 6ix9ine's got to watch out too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it for all we got to say about that. You know, we have any more notes to add about that, except for the fact that 6ix9ine was lucky that he got out pretty early.
Very lucky.
Got to see where his career is gonna go.
Yeah, he was very lucky, even just like getting his sentence reduced.
Yeah, because not many people are fortunate, man. There's a lot of people stuck in prison right now that are dying of that coronavirus.
Yeah, and so
unfortunately,
but besides all that, you know, hopefully this all blows over, you know, pretty soon. Or soon.
Hopefully it all blows over. Hopefully you guys are safe. That's our little take on Tekashi 6ix9ine. We'll see if he has any TikTok challenges coming soon. Or maybe he'll invent a new dance, like the stupid dance that he did. Stupid.
Wait, stupid? Well, oh, yeah. Bitch, are you dumb, stupid?
I just gotta say, those music videos had me super entertained. I'm not even gonna lie.
I love the Tati one because, like, I remember trying because the Tati one is basically where you kind of like do like a weird like leaning. I don't know how to explain it, but basically I was doing. I like to dance, of course, and you know that, and so like just I like to like try to replicate dances, and so I was spending some time learning that shit.
Hey, can you do the stupid dance right now on camera?
I don't know. It's a pretty small room.
You might break some of the furniture.
Back, so I can't really.
Oh, the bed right there?
Yeah.
I feel it. It's so crazy, man. Like that last note, like just to say, we're not going to see any videos of him mobbed up in New York anymore with all the gangsters wearing the blue and red bandanas. Like, remember, that was every music video he was practically releasing. And, like, now we're not going to see that.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about, like, how much different it's going to be. But I'm telling you, there's still going to be people that are going to listen to him, no matter what. No matter people that think he's a snitch or whatever, even though he kind of is a snitch. But people are still going to listen to him.
I'm still listening to him till this day, you know what I mean?
I don't care. If the music be slapping, I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah, you know. It's crazy, though. A couple of years ago.
Time's flying all. But, hey, I think that's a good way to wrap it up. This has been our little take on where Tekashi 6ix9ine is going to go from here. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. We'll have a little discussion about it. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, any last words before you get snitched on?
6ix9ine that, bitches, on my dick and on my dick.
All right, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Tune in, like, comment, subscribe, listen to the audio, share it. Don't be a J-Cat.
Don't be a J-Cat. Rawr.
Don't be a J-Cat like Daniel Hernandez.
Yui. Rawr.